Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Only takes a couple seconds. Peace.
Why everyone hates JoJo Siwa?
Of the child star curse is transitioning from their youthful identity to adulthood while still appealing to and respecting their... One of the biggest challenges of the child star curse is transitioning from their youthful identity to adulthood while still appealing to and respecting their young fan base. JoJo Siwa has recently faced major backlash for her attempted switch from a bright-eyed, smiley, and colorful tween role model to a rebellious, edgy, and provocative pop star. But the animosity towards JoJo is understandable, because this transition is obviously disingenuous. Today, I am going to break down exactly why JoJo Siwa's transition is failing miserably and prove that even she doesn't believe in her new bad girl persona. For Siwa's entire life, she was known as a positive, hardworking, and charismatic dancer who rose to fame through the hit Lifetime reality TV show Dance Moms. JoJo used her youth fame to grow her YouTube channel and social media presence. At nearly 13 years old, Siwa released her hit single Boomerang, an upbeat song that addresses childhood bullying. The song would go on to earn a 2x platinum certification, and the music video has accumulated over 1 billion views. From there, the 14-year-old signed to Nickelodeon, appearing in children's television shows like Bizaardvark and The Thundermans, as well as various television specials and award shows. She became a modern Nickelodeon superstar, releasing various songs, TV shows, TV movies, and performing sold-out concert tours in stadiums around the world. She even launched her own merchandise line of JoJo's bows. The lucrative business venture reportedly sold more than 80 million bows from 2016 to 2020, equating to well over $400 million, according to Forbes. By the time she was 17, she was filthy rich and was a positive influence on her millions of young girl fans all around the world. Naturally, while entering adulthood, child stars start to think about how long they can or want to appeal to children. JoJo's more mature gigs were competing on Dancing with the Stars and becoming a judge on So You Think You Can Dance. But those mature audiences struggled to take her seriously as a judge, even though she had over a decade of dance experience and was sporting a new adult-like pixie cut. Plus, being a judge on these dance shows is typically a job someone takes when they are past their prime. JoJo is just 20 years old and believes she has much more to offer to the world, so it was time to make a drastic change to let the world know she is not a bright-colored child star anymore.
I guess.
Siwa's fans were suspicious of her transition while she began rolling out her newest single, In February of 2024, JoJo posted a photo of her wearing all black and seemingly tattooing her entire left arm. She also posted a video on TikTok showing those tattoos, which were fake, by the way. Shortly after, she posted a series of 9 photos on Instagram, each with one-word captions that, in order, read, "See you in 1 month. Remember, karma's a bitch." Considering that everything she had ever posted on Instagram was a 4K quality...
But it's crazy how that song is a one-to-one copy to another song. But she could have been a little bit original. Like, I swear to God, she could have been like a little bit original. Like, no.
The photo of her smiling and wearing bright colors, the grainy, dim-lit photos with one curse word in the caption was actually a drastic change. I think JoJo is in her era. It looks so illegal to see JoJo putting a curse word on her captions. She's in her Miley Cyrus era. I'm torn. My daughter likes rainbows and bows, JoJo, but I'm invested in this JoJo. I want to know what's happening. The following week, she posted this celebratory video with the caption, "My last week being a child star," but the official transition marks when she posted this warning video to TikTok.
Warning, the following content is not made for children and may be disturbing or offensive to some viewers. May contain sexual themes, violence, strong language, dramatic scenarios, and flashing lights. Viewer discretion is advised.
She would later explain the warning in a video that it was important to me to give that heads up and be like, look, if you follow along, that's all you. If you want to go, now's your time. This was JoJo's way of formally letting the parents of her young fans know that she is not the kid-friendly star anymore.
A new era of life, we're becoming an adult!
Isn't all her fans just kidding?
How many kids are gonna pop out today?
Nobody knew yet what was coming, but JoJo claims her transition.
Hold on. You can't say that when all your fans are kids.
Would be shocking.
It is what it is, man.
That's been my most massive inspiration is no one has made this dramatic of a change yet.
Hey, if this was Drake, some lawsuits would be happening.
no one has made
Just saying.
in my generation this extreme of a switch, and I am the first in the generation. It is very scary, but someone's got to do it.
Now, I'm not really sure what counts as JoJo's generation, but she was making some huge claims here. What could this extreme switch be? When she finally teased the intro of her song, the comments absolutely eviscerated her. But before we dive deeper, have you ever Googled your name and seen yourself on one of those strange sites that has too much information about you? Feels pretty weird.
How's it even
I'd
get
really
there?
rather that kind of stuff wasn't available to anyone who's looking for it. Data brokers are making tons of money selling our information to robocallers and spammers. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, to where Aura and NFT's web. They recommend TNT alerts from credit bureau. My info will be protecting me. Let Aura and property trial. Anticipated in the description. Thanks, Aura. When JoJo Siwa finally previewed her highly anticipated song, people in the comments were ruthless. It sounds like
What up, Birchin?
Spotify ads. Is this literally Lab Rats music? It sounds like Fortnite default emote music. This is Party Rock Anthem. The beginning of her song starts out with the lyrics, "I was a bad girl. I did some bad things."
That's funny.
And she also says that she was a wild child, which just led to more and more negative reactions in the comment sections. The song was most definitely viral before it even got released, but not because people were dying to
10
hear
million,
it. It's
6
because
million.
people were making fun of it. Yet JoJo claimed that something crazier was still going to happen.
Everyone's been talking about the song, oh, this about the song, that about the song. No one's even questioned the music video yet. I'm about to start sharing some things from the music video, and that's where shit gets real crazy.
But then when she started
When did I
sharing the
meet
music
you?
video snippets, I guess the craziness was supposed to be the sensual dancing, or maybe this Blades of Glory inspired outfit, or maybe the Kiss inspired makeup, or maybe that the setting is on the island above Bikini Bottom. Adults looking at JoJo's imagery ironically look at this
That's
like
true.
a kid who's trying so hard to
JoJo,
be an
you earn
adult
nothing,
that
that's
it
true.
just makes her look even more
What's
like an
good,
uncomfortable
Slimmy
kid.
Slick?
The most respected
Slummy
people in the
Schluck.
world have come up to me and been like, what you're doing right now is so right. It is so right. It is what the world needs. Like, I'm learning from what you're doing right now, and that's crazy to me. I mean, I heard that from Lil Nas X yesterday.
Lil Nas
Heard
X.
it from Megan Trainor a few days ago. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. The support from people like that.
But again, no matter how much she tried to build up hype, people couldn't be less enthusiastic about this release. And JoJo's attempts at being a badass just gave the internet more fuel to make fun of her.
Dream guest on my podcast? Oh my gosh. I mean, honestly, let's spice things up. One of my exes. Oh?
Finally, the song dropped on April 5th, which accompanied an interview where JoJo claims that she was doing
What up,
something
must
groundbreaking.
be?
There's never really been an influencer child star turned into musician adult star.
She then went on to say that she believes
Huh?
this song is the first step in inventing a new genre.
What would you call the genre?
I don't know if she was like that.
I said it back in the day when I first signed with Columbia. I said I want to start a new
Or
genre
he,
of
I don't
music.
know.
And they said, what do you mean? And I said, well, it's called gay pop. And they were like,
Not only is the child star turned pop star extremely common, but the song she released is structured exactly like any other dancey, chanty, power chord driven pop
Bro,
song
it's just like the most
reminiscent
generic
of the
thing
likes
ever.
of Lady Gaga, Kesha, Carly Rae Jepsen, etc. Less than a week later, she corrected her statement, telling TMZ that she definitely was not the inventor of the style, but rather wanted to be a
What
piece
is
in
that?
making it bigger than it already is. Walking back her comments was her first
K-pop.
misstep. She hyped up this era like she was doing something generational. She should have just doubled down on her statements and been like, yeah, I invented gay pop. What are y'all gonna do
What
about
even
it?
is
We
that?
all agree it's a ludicrous statement, but she already said it, so now you gotta stand on it. Don't be all like, oh no, this is what I actually meant. Badasses don't explain themselves. However, things got even worse for JoJo when TikTokers realized
Shut
she
up.
didn't write the song. When analyzing the credits on Spotify, you will notice that Desmond Child, Timbaland, Antonina Armato, and Tim James are credited
Bro,
as the writers, and
she has a
Rock Mafia
ghostwriter.
as the producers. Antonina Armato is a well-respected
embarrassing.
songwriter who wrote hits like This Love by Maroon 5 and The Heart Wants What It Wants by Selena
Dude,
Gomez.
singers never write their
Armato
songs.
also wrote for Miley Cyrus during her Disney Channel era.
And why do they
Because
all-
of this,
like,
people
like-
suspected
like-
that the song
like,
was
what are they
originally
getting
written
paid
for
for?
Miley's breakout
Sing.
moment into adulthood, and they also found this 2012 tweet that may have supported that theory. Big thanks to Timbaland and Rock Mafia for a great collaboration on
how's
hashtag Karma's a
Timberland?
Bitch. And then Miley responded and said, "Don't forget me, bitch." But Miley never released a song called Karma, and we don't even know if she ever recorded a demo for this song. We would later find out that Britt Smith, an artist basically nobody has ever heard of, was actually meant to release Karma back in 2012.
Rock Mafia back in the day. It was supposed to be my first single. Things changed and I went with Provocative instead, and shouldn't have done that really. We should have gone with Karma. That was my first choice, but label things got in the way and I kind of was led in that direction, and we went with Provocative, and then I left the industry after that.
Britt and JoJo's versions are exactly the same. The lyrics are word for word the same, and the structure of the song is nearly one-to-one, but Britt's version is so much more dynamic. It is less power pop, is nearly one-to-one, but
It is literally 1-to-1. I was a bad girl, I was a bad girl. Thou shalt not, and thou shalt not lie. It's the exact same.
Britt's version is so much more dynamic. It is less power pop driven and feels more like a classic 90s/early 2000s dance banger. Plus, Britt is a better vocal performer. But once this information came to light, TikTok exploded with viral videos claiming JoJo stole this song. The narrative shifted from JoJo is cringe to JoJo is cringe and a thief. The craziest part of this whole situation is that Britt Smith got approval to release her version of the song just 1 week after JoJo released hers. Fans liked Britt's version so much it nearly outstreamed JoJo's, securing 5 million streams and reaching number 6 on Spotify's Viral 50 charts. Britt Smith's version also peaked at number 8 on the US iTunes pop chart, surpassing Siwa's, which peaked at 89 and failed to reach the Billboard Hot 100. Britt Smith literally made a come up off people hating JoJo Siwa. JoJo previewed another unreleased song which was immediately labeled as stolen within hours of playing it for her fans.
Screencast on my podcast
It's
note.
called Choose Your
Crying
Fire.
emoji.
TikTok users immediately remembered a different artist called Emmeline who previewed the exact same song in 2022.
22. Oh, she's a D1 plagiarizer, bro.
Emmeline responded to the leak with this comment: "I actually didn't sign off on it coming out with JoJo. Not her fault. If my version gets love, I can still put it out after hers." It's unclear what Emmeline meant by this, and she didn't end up explaining it further. But then Siwa finally responded to the comments of her allegedly stealing her songs.
Background on Karma, honestly, it's an old song. I was pitched it. I loved it, was obsessed with it, so I grasped onto it.
Why not that instead of a new song?
No, that's a very normal thing. A lot of songs are
Okay.
what happens is people write songs and then they just don't do anything with them. And then a few years later it makes more sense for another artist. No.
Did you steal it from Britt Smith?
I did not steal anything. There's no such thing as stealing. And I didn't think about the one Choose Your Fighter, one of my other songs. But no, that's the same situation. Somebody else did write it. I did not write the song. And
You got the rights to it.
But I have the rights to it.
JoJo did not steal these songs. It is common for artists to not write their own music and have music that other people wrote pitched to them. Most of the time, songwriters make a batch of songs and send them out to multiple artists, and whoever is the first to buy the rights and release the song publicly is the legal owner of that song. 99% of your favorite artists have worked with songwriters. The one caveat to this is that JoJo's preview of her Choose Your Fighter song was not even her voice, so she didn't record her version of it yet and previewed it thinking nobody would realize it isn't her singing. But JoJo is being way too open about her lack of songwriting. She is cosplaying the bad girl while trying to explain, no, you guys don't understand how the industry works. I'm not a songwriter, I'm just a performer. When has any major pop artist ever explained exactly how they don't write their music? It ruins the aura, the mystique of being an artist. How is anyone supposed to connect with your lyrics and brand after you blatantly said you don't write your words? Like, we know that you and every other pop star in history don't write their own songs, but don't say it. And you can tell even she knows she shouldn't talk about it, because listen to her stutter and hesitate to speak on her writers in this interview.
Honestly, I wrote this rap song called "The Lies Sound Better." Sure. I told my writer, I was like, look,
faster than Busta Rhymes. I was like, challenge me.
But the main reason why nobody is taking her seriously is because she is trying to push this bad girl era, but everything she does just proves that this persona is not genuine. Firstly, let's just get this out of the way. The Kiss-inspired makeup has to be the least authentic thing any rebellious person would ever do. Then again, it's perfectly fitting because Kiss was basically a glorified children's band. Their music was considered badass and rebellious if you were ages 8 to 13 in 1975, which are likely the ages of people that currently think JoJo Siwa is badass and serving rock star looks. JoJo expressed that her goal was for her bad girl moment to be reminiscent of Miley Cyrus's bangers moment.
When I was 8 is when Miley had her bangers moment. And I was like, all I want is to have that one day. Like, I want that. And honestly, since I was like 15, like my whole like inner circle has been like talking
JoJo
about it and like
Siwa.
getting excited for it.
JoJo even copies Miley's signature tongue out pose, which, if you can believe it, was controversial in 2013. And yeah, Miley is definitely a legend, but it's important for JoJo to recognize that Miley was actually bad. Like, Miley was smoking salvia out of bongs, twerking on Robin Thicke at the MTV VMAs, wearing basically no clothing for all her public appearances in 2013. She was taking extreme risks and got so much backlash for it. The fans, the media, and other celebrities called her trashy, a stripper, pathetic, every horrible name to rebuke her antics. And Miley did not care to explain herself nor satisfy anyone. She just kept doing her thing because she felt so trapped behind the child star brand for years. Miley constantly detailed in interviews how she resented the Hannah Montana character. She hated wearing the wig. She hated doing the press. She felt like a fraud to her young fan base. Miley was trying to do whatever she could to escape the Disney image, even if it meant losing her young fans and the financial benefits that came with it. She even had a multi-million-dollar merchandising deal with Walmart in the works that she lost due to her antics, and she did not care. You could say in hindsight that what she was doing was trashy, but it was at least authentic. It seems like JoJo is talking up this transition more than fully diving in. Even the tattoos on her arm were fake. Well, most of them were, just furthering the idea that she is half committed. She seems half committed because maybe she doesn't want to lose all her previous fans that made her a multi-millionaire. Remember, she sold $400 million in bows. Maybe she thinks she will be able to draw on her face, do a promiscuous dance, and sell $400 million in records. But music is way different than TV or even dance. It's not even about talent. It's about depth, lifestyle, attitude, parasocial connections through lyrics and mystique, all of which are extremely difficult to fake, and people know JoJo is not actually a badass. Like, look at this video of what she claims is a reckless or unhinged statement.
The last few weeks, the internet has definitely made me feel like I'm a f***ing psychopath. I realized something. I am a f***ing psychopath. And this is some shit that only I can do.
She really thinks calling herself a psychopath is some rock star. She already refers to her music video as iconic. JoJo seems to lack the understanding that she doesn't get to declare herself as badass and iconic. Other people have to do that for her. It's like declaring yourself a legend or putting yourself in the Hall of Fame. You don't get to do that. Other people determine your public perception. It's like she wants the credit before ever putting in the work. Plus, she has the money, time, and resources to actually put in the work. Put in the 10,000 hours to grow and change into the artist that she claims she can be.
Like I said, I will never ever claim to be a singer.
Yeah.
But I will claim to be an artist.
Okay.
I am giving the world art, and they might not like it, they might hate it, but they're enjoying it. And it's become a bit of a guilty pleasure for everyone.
But she likely has agents, managers, and yes men saying, no, you can do this. You can be whatever you want. Yeah, wrap your Lamborghini Urus with PNG cutouts of your face. That's what all 20-year-olds wish they could do. But easily the one thing she did that diminished all her credibility during this transition is straight up admit that she was never bad.
I got pitched this song, Karma. And the first word is, I was a bad girl. And I was like, oh, it's a good song. I was like, but I can't say that. I can't say I'm a bad girl. I'm not. I was 18, fresh off of my Dream the Tour. And I was like, I can't say I sang Every Girl's a Super Girl last week. Like, I can't sing I was a bad girl this week. It doesn't work.
How is anyone supposed to believe in your new image when you don't even believe in it yourself?
If you made it this far, hit like, subscribe,